welcome to the first episode of our yet-to-be-named 5th edition D&D live play podcast. I'll be your game master, James. Let's introduce our players.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm playing a character named Sten. He is a barbarian, sort of an urban barbarian, half-orc, grew up in the city, mostly just been a dock worker all his life. Not an adventurer as of yet. He is blessed/cursed with an ability he doesn't really fully understand, which counts as his barbarian rage power, but he is occasionally given to bouts of heat exuding from his body. He has gotten some control over it, mostly in order to not use it, because he kind of has, as of yet, just been a simple dock worker. Much of the story will probably be him coming to grasp with that ability.
Hi, my name's Molly, and I am playing a character named Eden. She is a human from a noble background. She is fully human, but was adopted, and one of her parents is half-elf, so she does know a little bit of Elvish and was raised knowing a little bit about the Elvish culture. She is a sorcerer, does have magical abilities, began to manifest when she was young, has always had trouble controlling them and mastering them, would like to understand them better and learn how to control them and learn if they have a purpose, if any. When she was in her late teens, early 20s, she left to go study at university, kind of struggled throughout her entire academic career. The whole thing, it turned into, in her mind, a disaster, and she ended up having to leave and go back home. But I think a big part of her story will be learning more about her sorcerer background and learning how to master her powers, as well as trying to find out more information on what happened to her older brother, as he basically went missing many years ago and no one seems to know what happened to him or if he's even still alive.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I'm playing as Gray Fox, he's a half-elf. Basically, he and his family were exiled from both of their families, basically, once his mother was found with child. So they were exiled. His parents basically lived on the outskirts of one of the major cities for quite a while until they were killed by these racist elves. The mom hid him under the floorboards, and he stayed there until they actually killed both of his parents. Eventually, he ran away to a nearby city, and he kind of grew up as a street urchin for a while and picked up some skills. As a thief, he still has a lot of dreams of being in a noble family, but never really got to live that life. So he kind of plays that out when he can and overcompensates a little bit sometimes.
And Mark.
I will be playing Gijus Bolt. He is a former servant, now free man. He worked for a wealthy merchant family. He was more or less the default friend and servant to the family's only child. Had to go into battle a number of times to protect their son Philip, because local governments had various uprisings, and family, in order to keep political favor, would go lend a hand. Philip had eventually become too big for his britches, tried to usurp the family business. The patriarchy of the family had enlisted Gijus' help to close that down. The end result was he had to kill Philip. That, with all the people he's had to kill in the past in various battles, weighing on him. So now, as a free man, he's trying to figure out what to do with himself and how to accept what he's done.
All right. Good to hear, guys. We open over the red tile roofs and cobbled streets of Obelik on a rare afternoon of clear skies. The city stinks of molding wood and mildew, with the only exceptions being the docks and the royal quarter of Sutter's Walk, which smell of fish and money respectively. The population is largely human, with a smattering of the other humanoid races and an infestation of goblins. Eden finds herself looking for a relaxing afternoon of reading and contemplation that is thwarted at every turn. In her family estate, the temple, and finally the library, all infested with intrusive people or strange happenings that drive her away from the haven of safety that is Sutter's Walk, to a tavern, where she finally finds a moment's respite. Then pushes a cart laden with small cheese wheels, loudly clattering over the cobblestone street, a delivery of Black Hill Brie off a rickety merchant vessel. Clearly marked as a longshoreman, Sten also carries the tools of the carpentry trade in a satchel slung behind him. Onlookers avert their gaze when they see him, whether from fright, disdain, or disinterest. He does not know and cannot care. However, Sten does notice an unusual amount of rodents following him. Must be the cheese, he tells himself. Gray Fox, whilst lying low after his most recent and successful heist of 2 fine silvered sickles, is accosted by a young urchin of a girl. She informs him of a man who is rumored to have decimated the criminal elements in every town he's come through. He's been spotted entering the city and the Indica family, to which this fox owes many favors, wishes that he keep an eye on him. Guige has just completed a brief trip from his rural cabin in the company of the constable named Ooster, who is ostensibly arresting him. The truth is that people who live nearby don't particularly like the blindfolded man who occasionally speaks to the empty spaces. They fear him despite the fact that he is yet to hurt anyone. To appease the peasantry, the local law has escorted Guige to Obelik to be looked at by a priest. Upon arrival, Guige was inspected by the clerics and found to be untainted. Ooster then released Guige with the offer of a future drink and apologies for the fearful peasants. Okay, now all of you are in the same place. This is a bar, restaurant. It's doing all right. The bartender, his shoulders don't quite make it above the counter edge, and you can see that he has a big beard and a bald head, waving around a cup of wine, talking very boisterously to the nearest customer. Describe to me what each one of you is doing.
So I'm coming in with my delivery. Were the rats still following me? I kind of glanced before. Okay.
You are in the alleyway behind.
Are they like right on my heels, like very blatantly following me?
Nope, they are very much keeping to the shadows.
Oh, okay.
Only because you knew they were there can you still see them.
Okay. In that case, you definitely keep an eye on that, but I'm going to head in, find the owner, let him know, hey, got a delivery for you here from the docks. I believe it's some brie.
All right. Molly, have you been picking it in the corner, or have you pulled up at the bar?
At this point, I think Eden would have pulled up at the bar, maybe ordered a drink or two by now, maybe making small talk with the bartender or with anyone sitting around, but for the most part, just keeping to herself, maybe writing in her journal the way that she normally does when she gets spare time.
I want you to roll a performance to give off that don't talk to me vibe.
All right, I may need some guidance on how to do that.
In your character sheet, it's in the bottom left of your skills.
And sorry, which one am I using again?
Performance. Oh man,
And it's
you're
22.
the most standoffish person in the bar. You give off the most angry sideways glances at people who try to approach you. They immediately back off and head another direction.
The RBF is too strong.
Actually, I want you all to describe yourselves because you're all going to be seen. Whether you'll be noticed or not is different.
Okay.
But you'll be within sight of each other. And again, we'll start with Sten.
Okay. I am a half-orc. Relatively close to more human features than orc, but in some ways that makes me a little even more off-putting, just kind of like an uncanny valley effect. I'm just wearing dock worker clothes, not dressed for adventure or anything like that. In this particular case, I don't have any tools on me either. I've just been carting the cheese over here.
Oh, you definitely have your pack on you.
I was specifically thinking of the sledgehammer.
Oh, you can't leave your tools anywhere that get stolen.
Okay, I assumed I wouldn't have my sledgehammer. Okay, I do have my sledgehammer on me. I apologize. Yeah, so I'm not a customer here. I'm mostly just here talking to the innkeeper, delivering stuff, and I'll be on my way soon.
The help.
Indeed. Oh, incidentally, if I get a chance, I might want to take just whisper to the innkeeper that he may have a bit of a rat problem outside, and to watch the food. Extra careful.
Awesome. Eden?
At this point, again, Eden is kind of sitting off in the shadows by herself. She would be fairly well dressed, not outrageous or anything like that. Maybe just a nice vest with a skirt and boots. Sitting by herself, drinking some cider, writing in a nice journal. She would be not obviously not an intimidating kind of person. Average height, average weight. Medium length red hair past her shoulders. But by the way she's dressed, it would be reasonable to guess that she does come from a noble background.
And people can see it. Gray Fox, you're definitely lurking in the shadows, having tailed this masked man.
With Gray Fox, he sitting at the bar, kind of on the far edge, just waiting for the bartender to make his way over to him. You see him there in a stool. He's got kind of a cape cloak kind of deal over him with his hood over his face. At first glance, he might not seem very well armed, but you could kind of make out some glints of metal on his arm as like a throwing knife or something. And he just kind of looks like a little shadowy figure. He's not being too conspicuous.
Awesome. And Geach.
So he just walked right in front door and went up to the counter. And his appearance, it would be kind of strange. So he might look sort of like an Undertaker in that, probably besides the tower shield that's strapped to his back, he has a very wide-brimmed hat. His clothes would look nice, almost like someone of wealth might wear, but they're kind of strange. In fact, it kind of looks like it's what someone who thinks wealthy people might wear. There's no patterns on it. If you look at, the edges of his sleeves or his elbows, it seems kind of worn through. So he probably doesn't own multiple outfits. Other than that, very pale, dark hair, but he's wearing the hat, and he even has a cravat that goes up just under his chin. Other notable feature would be that he has a sheer blindfold tied over his eyes. He's gonna head to the counter and ask the barkeep like if they had any bread, because he could swear he smelled some bread.
The barkeep will look over at you and say, "Of course we've got bread. Liquid bread." And he swirls it around. I'm assuming you don't give him the positive ha 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 response, and he will sour a little bit, and then
I'll feign a smile and like lean my head back a little bit as if I'm like about to laugh, and I'll hold it for a moment, and then I'll go back to normal. I mean, like a loaf of bread.
visibly unnerved, looks at you and says, "Well, yeah, we have some that just came out of the oven." And he claps his hands and yells back, "Denise, bring some bread for this young man." Immediately, a young woman will come out and grab some bread for you.
How much is that?
2 copper, son.
Okay.
Do you want any butter on that?
No. This is fine. I drop him the coppers. I bite into it and I turn around and I start looking at the room, seeing who's around me.
And I want you all to roll perception.
I rolled an 8, Sten, that is.
I rolled a 7. Gray Fox rolled a 14.
The only one who is going to notice this is Gray Fox. Gray Fox is sitting in the corner at a booth, all very much Aragorn Ranger style, cowled and making sure nobody can see him. But as he looks down, he sees little dark shapes moving around his boots. You will realize that out from little cracks in the wood at the base of the wall, rats are starting to scurry in, but they are not acting rat-like. They are scurrying in and then moving along the wall and waiting.
Are they acting like erratically? Like, are they acting violently or anything like that?
Nope. If anything, they're acting tame.
Are they going towards a specific spot that I can see?
You can see that they're fanning out along the wall, but if anything, they're starting to stretch towards the back door of the building in which you would assume the pantry is,
Okay.
given your awesome city sense.
So at this point, I would have perked up and would have said, "Hey, barkeep, you got a pest problem."
You hit the table and yell across the room to the barkeep that he's got a pest problem.
Yep.
Sten would definitely react to that because he'll know immediately what pest problem is being talked about here.
Sten steps out of the back, leaving his cart, looks around, and once you guys hear this, you can actively see that there are swarms of tiny rats all around the room, and in fact, some unnaturally large ones starting to pour out.
I'm gonna like take another look at the loaf of bread I just bit into, just to be sure.
It looks great.
Okay. Alright, just want to make sure I didn't get more in it.
That's one good thing, at least.
Yeah. Oh, does this bread, like, how do I feel when I eat it? Is it good bread, or is it, like, special bread, or is it not very good?
It looks like good bread. So tasty.
Okay, gotta make sure. Could have been cursed bread for all I know.
Well, we
Okay.
need to know exactly what kind of bread it is. I mean, is it sourdough? Is it whole wheat?
Oh,
Is it
it's
ciabatta?
definitely sourdough.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
cool.
that good stuff. This
All
is
right,
like
now-
500th batch sourdough.
The bread's been appraised, so
Mhm.
I'm now kind of worried about all these rats I'm seeing.
These rats appear to tentatively step out of the darkness. I want you all to roll perception one more time,
Okay.
because now you can all see the rats.
Sten rolled a 19.
Ooh, we're killing in these rolls.
There you
Eden
are.
rolled a 17.
Welp.
Now
I
it's-
rolled an
Oh,
8.
Gray Fox.
Now it's
sorry
Gray.
about that.
It was Gray Fox's turn to not roll the killer perception roll. it
Right.
seems.
Eden and Geej hear above the little squeaking and scratching of little claws on the ground, very faintly, a flute-type instrument being played. Right as it stops, all the rats stop looking controlled and hesitant and start charging forward into the room, biting at Tennant's ankles,
Oh, dear.
and for the most part, going for the pantry. I want you all to roll initiative. This is a tutorial fight, guys.
Cool. All right.
Classic rat fight.
Nice.
Sten rolled a 5.
And luckily, all the initiatives will go directly into this. Oh, maybe not.
Ah, it was 6.
Now, the real question is can we get the monsters on this initiative tracker? This may take a second.
I'm mostly just trying to figure out how I'm going to fight rats with a sledgehammer. It's going to be tough.
Seems pretty easy to me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like that's pretty straightforward.
With great difficulty?
Well, yeah, yes, I get the general idea of it, of course. They're very effective if you manage to hit. Leave the big ones to me.
There's gray rat and brown rat.
Oh, nice. Cool beans.
There we go.
All
Okay,
right,
cool.
we're on top of things, guys.
They're all rolling zeros. So it's supposed to be like that.
I just need to roll for it afterwards.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're adding them. Okay, got it.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Awesome.
Eden, you see a large, scraggly sewer rat about the size of maybe 2 footballs tied together
Ugh,
Ooh.
saunter out under the table next to you.
that's just
Ouch.
unnatural.
A woman screams and starts fleeing for the door.
Who starts fleeing for the door?
The woman in the table next to you.
Well, I feel like
It is waddling after her, but not very quickly.
yeah, Eden's. I feel like her first response is going to be to want to nope out of there as fast as possible. but she does happen to have a dagger on her. At the very least, I think I'm going to try to take a swipe at the giant rat with the dagger.
So the first thing you want to do is move your character up next to the rat. You can move up to 6 spaces as part of your move. That's perfect. And then
Alright,
in
so
your
now
character sheet in the middle, there's all your attacks and spells.
Gotcha.
And you can use your dagger, or you could try to touch the rat and zap it. And I'm going to say, just for comedic effect, you can use the dagger to touch the rat and zap it. If you want to use shocking grasp without actually touching a rat.
All right, I'm going to give it a try.
So you do not beat the rat's AC with a 9. Basically, as Eden runs up to the rat, pulling out her steel dagger, hoping that it conducts electricity well enough, starts reaching down toward the rat, it hisses at you and scurries away several feet.
Ugh.
Yep. Now it is that rat's turn, unfortunately. It is going to make a bite attack on you
Ah!
for 10. Does that hit your AC?
You're looking to see if it's bigger, if it's a greater number than your armor class.
Figured out how to make it just roll 1 if you don't want it to be at advantage, which is exciting. Like this. Duh. Ooh, good thing it didn't actually do that.
That would be ouchie.
So, Eden, what is your AC?
Your armor class.
It's up
your,
at the,
your AC is 11. The little gray circle when you click on your
Okay.
tab is your AC.
All right,
put it
sorry
so
about
it's
that.
more
Okay,
easily accessible.
yeah, I had no idea what that means. So yes, it's 11.
Right after you put a little tased dagger in the rat's face and it scurries away, it takes a little roundabout and tries to nip at your heels, but you also scurry away. And it is
Standoff.
Rat's turn. Rat is going to try to get to the pantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to start making a mess in the pantry. You can hear bags being ripped open and the like. You also
Am I
hear
able to
its
see from where?
claws on wood, and you know it's in your cart.
Okay, that's what my question was. I'm feeling very guilty right now.
All right. This rat is going to terrorize some customers in the middle of the room. This swarm of rats is going to start swarming up on to our good, fine gentleman, Grey Fox, as it roils out of the corner of the room and up your legs.
It's already up my legs.
It moves into your space, actually. So yeah, does 12 beat your AC?
I have 14.
And again, you're able to step up onto the chair and shake the rats off you before they can start gnawing down.
Yay!
But as you
Whoa.
do, a big rat pops up right behind you. Does 13 beat your AC?
No, it does not.
And you're able to elbow it in its big dumb rat face, and it falls off the chair. All right, it's your turn, Grey Fox.
Did that take any damage because I
Nope,
elbowed it?
it was thematic elbowing.
Okay.
You just stopped it from biting you.
Alright, so what I want to do is get away from these things. So,
Do you want to
Grey
take a
Fox-
swing at them first?
yeah, I can do that. I can attack first and then get the hell out of dodge.
Mhm.
Alright, awesome. So, I'm gonna take out my 2 sickles from behind my back and then swipe at the big rat. Yeah, I can't figure out how to do that. Yeah.
You have your sickle silvered, which is your main weapon, and then you have your sickle offhand. You can attack with both, but the offhand doesn't get any bonuses.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So the first one hits.
Alright, first one's
And
24.
are you
the second
swinging
one is
at the swarm of tiny rats or the big old rat?
the big rat.
So you are going to deal 9 damage total to the big old rat,
Nice.
and it is going to die. There's going
Thank
to
goodness.
be a 2 halves of rat on the little puffy seat next to you.
Yeah, so I just like kind of put the sickles together in front of him and just like kind of slice
Oh,
either direction.
you definitely did that.
Nice.
He scissored him.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to move?
Yeah,
And
so-
remember that if you try to move away from this pile of rats, they are going to try to bite you as you leave.
Yeah, I'm still gonna. I mean, they would probably try to bite me if I stayed. So
True.
I'm gonna move 2, 3, 4, 5. Something.
Do you want to try to get up on something, or are you just going to be in the middle of the floor? You're going to try to jump up on the table? Awesome.
Just jumping right up onto the table to kind of gather my bearings and stay out of the way of the rats.
So the rats do not manage to get you as you run away and hop up onto the table.
Sweet.
The rats are going to have to take a acrobatics check to try to get up on that table, otherwise they're attacking you at disadvantage.
Nice.
But you are also attacking them with disadvantage because you're up on a table.
True.
All right, and it is Gage's turn. There appears to be a mass panic as a crowd surges past you because you're standing near the door.
I noticed.
Roll a strength save to not
Oh,
get
boy.
knocked down.
Okay. Just click on strength, yeah?
In your character sheet, there should be a
Yes,
box
click-
called saving throws, and then click on
Right,
strength
right.
in that box.
It is... Oh my goodness, I forgot where it was again. Oh, there... Wait.
Core character sheet, top-ish left. The saving throws
Right,
box.
saving throws. Okay, yeah. I kept looking at skills. Okay, here we go. Got a 7.
As you are looking down at your bread to see if it is gnawed on by rats or has rat hair, a very aggressive halfling steps behind you, trying to squeeze between the bar and you, and a lady pushes you in the front, and you do a comic pratfall over the halfling.
Nice.
So you land on your butt. So you have only 4 spaces to move this turn because you have to spend some move getting up.
Okay.
But you
All
managed
right.
to not get trampled, though.
That's a good day. Any
Mhm.
day you don't get trampled is a good day. Okay, I'll get up, and is there any like candles in the this inn that I might be able to sort of...
There are oil lanterns around and about.
I'm thinking it might be a good idea to try and use fire, because I know rats don't like fire. My character is not too spooked by rats, because when you're a servant, you see rats.
I'm drawing in the oil lanterns now. They're all along the walls.
Is there anything I can use as a torch?
They are lit already. All you need to do is pick them up and throw them.
Well, no, I don't want to
The-
set the place on fire.
The bartender may not like it, and it may be a lot of fire, but which is better, rats or fire? You can decide.
Well, I think maybe I should not set the place on fire. And I'm going to move 4 spaces towards the pantry, because I think that's where they're heading. And I'm going to see what I can do to sort of stop all that. And I see some lanterns over there anyway, so if I need you, I'll just grab one.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to move 4.
Okay, are you going to try to throw a dagger, or just 4?
No, I'm just going to get up and walk over 4 spaces as I eat my bread.
Alright. As you push your way through the remaining people that are scurrying
Yes.
out the door,
Yeah.
you look around, you see that the bartender is huddled behind the bar, saying something about how this will be terrible for business and he will never recover. Stenwick, it is your turn.
All right,
Sten.
so
you can
Sten-
hear that little rat just, it's tearing into your brie
Ah.
right now.
Yeah,
And
so
your boss is going to be so mad when you're short.
this is exactly what I was thinking. So I've been pretty slow to react. Probably my first thoughts were guilt because because I saw these outside, and now I'm kind of thinking like, oh god, I brought these here, didn't I? So I'm kind of standing there watching, hoping nobody notices me. And then I see the rats go in, and I hear them start gnawing on the brie, and that pisses me off because I know I'm gonna be saddled with the bill. And so I just boom out suddenly this big half-orc voice, brie, and I run in there. And I run in there to see what's going on.
Awesome. So take a move. There's
so-
a door there. You can
yeah.
get through.
So I think I moved 3 to there.
As you step into the room, slamming the, it's just a swinging door, there's no latch. Slamming the door open, you see the big fat rat just sort of hunched on the edge of your cart, holding a foot-wide wheel of brie in its mouth. And
Oh.
it has like a little wedge bit in it, and it looks over at you with what you think might be guilt. Probably not.
I'm not feeling generous right now. I'm just gonna be screaming out, "Get off my cheese!" And I'm gonna make a reckless attack and attack him with the hammer.
Awesome. So attack at advantage.
Indeed. 21
That
with the
hits.
advantage.
You are going to just pop this poor animal, and it will not even be recognizable as a rat so much anymore, so much as a smear on the wall and on your hammer.
Yeah, you might have messed up
And
the
on the
pantry a little
brie?
bit more.
Unfortunately,
brie?
that wheel of brie went with it,
Well, that was gone anyway. Oh,
but you've managed to keep most of the goop off of your nice brie wheels.
excellent.
So what you're saying is it looks like someone threw a really large grape and cheese at the wall.
Pretty much.
Okay.
He went full Babe Ruth on it.
I'm standing there snarling protectively over my brie.
Awesome. Okay, and we're going to go to Swarm of Rats, which is also going to rush the pantry. And then it is going to start swarming into the room. The way Sten perceived this is the door is swinging open and closed behind him because he went through with such violent force. And each time it opens, more and more rats move into the room and start climbing all over everything.
This is a
And-
real nightmare.
It is. And the swarm of rats make an attack on his ankles. But that does not hit.
And this is a tutorial, you say, James.
I actually that should have advantage on me, that bite,
Oh,
because I have frenzy.
awesome. Still doesn't hit you. You're doing angry stomps. Alright, guys. And it's back to Eden with her big nope rat right in her face.
So is this rat still nipping at my heels?
Yes, you guys have been doing a weird tango of you
Oh, that's
waving
sweet.
a dagger taser at it dancing back and trying to get around you, so you've been doing a back and forth right there.
Okay, by this point I'd probably borderline panicking if the rat is really as big as you say. Can I, let's see, what do I have that's more powerful than Shocking Grasp, if anything?
You have a couple of spells that are actually level spells, which requires you to spend energy that you get back at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And one of them is Thunder Wave, which attacks an area in front of you. It would definitely break the booth, but rats do. And then you also have Witch Bolt, which is a single target. Again, it's right next to you, so it'll be hard to aim it. It would be at disadvantage because you're attacking a target that is in melee with you.
Okay, I'm going to...
But Witch Bolt is basically Emperor Palpatine lightning.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, probably won't try that now, but I am going to go ahead and use Thunder Wave. At this point, if the rats are everywhere, I'm probably not thinking about whether or not I care if the booth gets broken. So here we go.
So when you click on that, it's going to tell us what that rat needs to save against, which I believe is Con. Can you find that in your attacks?
No, I found it. I'm clicking on it. Nothing's happening.
Oh! Gasp. We shall see about that. Oh my, that is weird.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing.
Oh, you have to choose a level at which it is cast.
Oh.
So when you click on it, it will say cast at what level? Level 1, level 2?
Oh my gosh. Okay, gotcha.
So you can
All right.
basically put more juice into it if you want.
Okay, I see.
So this rat is going to save versus you, and it is going to take half damage. So it will take 4 damage. You see the rat get thrown against the wall, but again, once it hits the ground, it thrashes a few times and gets right back at harassing you.
Oh, fun.
Did you want to move?
Yeah, if possible, I'm probably gonna take a couple steps back.
Oh, there is.
Oh, is it too late?
It's not too late. It's a rule in this game when you are in a threatened area. So both of you are threatening each other right now because you're in melee range, and you both have melee weapons. He has teeth, you have a knife. And if he tries to run away, you can swing at him because he's basically turning his back on you. And if you do the same, you also take an attack because you turn around and run away. He'd nip at your ankles. But if you stay, he has to wait till his turn to attack because you're defending yourself. If you had thrown him with the Thunder Wave, he would have been moved away, and then you could have run away.
Okay, I think I follow.
Okay. And again, if any of you guys have questions about stuff, tell me. I'm going to try to introduce the rules to you slowly, but not leave things out. Okay, so rat is still in your face, comes back after being thrown against the wall, and tries to bite at you. I believe that hits. 16 versus your AC.
13, so yes.
And it deals 6 damage to you. I just put that into your health bar, so that little green bar above your character is your health.
Okay, got it.
So it will come up and take a big bite out of your calf.
Ugh.
Mm.
Oh, holy crap. That's gotta be bloody.
Yep, it doesn't look good. Definitely staining your socks. So the swarm of rats is going to come after Grey Fox. It is going to attack at disadvantage, and definitely not hit. As it scurries around under the table, every time a rat comes over, hopping up onto a bench to hop up onto the table, you boot it off.
Nice.
Big old giant rat, realizing that all the crowds are gone, starts to scurry over to Geege.
Oh boy.
And take a bite.
Oh,
17
wow.
versus your AC.
Yeah, I have 16, so he was able to hit me.
Yeah, it's probably just you didn't see him coming. Comes up and bites through your boot.
Son of a gun.
Just focused on the bread.
Yeah, I was heading over to the door and nipped at me.
It hurts,
much-
but it's not that bad.
How much damage?
5.
Okay. Do I add this to my temporary hit points or what?
No, If
Oh,
you
you
look at your
subtracted
HP,
it.
it's gone down
Okay.
to 29.
Okay. All right. Is it my? No, it's not my turn yet. Okay.
Nope. All right, Sten, back in the pantry. Swarm of rats.
Is it? Is it me? I thought it was
No. It's the rats hanging out with you.
Oh yes. Ah, what fun.
So they are going to gnaw at you.
All right. I've got
12 versus AC.
a 14, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You managed to do that. Your happy dance to keep them away from your box.
My angry happy dance. Yes.
All right, Grey Fox. You're
Okay,
up on a
so
table, booting rats off, but they are mostly underneath you. It's hard to get to them from where you are.
At this point in time, like me or with him jumping onto the table, does he see all the other people that are around?
The bar is almost empty by now. There's still a little crowd of people next to the door pushing their way out, but for the most part, everybody is gone except for you guys.
So Gray Fox sees Eden and Geesh.
Mhm. Yes, it's very easy to see what's going on.
So I mean, at this point, I mean, he would have done a double take seeing a masked character at the bar area.
Well, he is in fact the one you've been following.
Just making sure. Okay, so he'd already seen him before coming into.
That's why you came in.
All right, cool. In that case, he's still trying to keep a low profile. So
Stand on a table.
So he kind of stays low onto the table.
Well, I like that you're the only person in the room who's gotten up on something very much like woman in the kitchen style.
Yeah, it is kind of funny actually. Okay, so he's like okay, so he's going to take his sickles and kind of just slash at them from up above.
Okay, roll at disadvantage. Remember, you also have a lantern on the table right next to you.
Yeah, but he didn't really want to set the place on fire.
You like this place?
It is a good bar.
We're considered
it
adventurers.
It was a good bar. Not yet time to burn it with fire, though.
So he kind of does a little flurry. So that's a 6 and a 10, I guess?
You manage to cut one rat as it comes up, just entirely in half, and cut into another little rat, but there's still like 50 rats.
Well,
Do you want to move or do anything else?
I think I want to. I see that there is a girl in the corner, and I'm gonna try to help her out because she's like trying to throw magic and shit, and it's not working. So I'm gonna jump over to this table.
Roll an acrobatics check,
All right,
mostly to see if you can land on it without breaking it or tipping it over.
23. Nice.
Oh, definitely.
Can I
You
jump to the
do
other
a flying
table?
leap across
Elegant.
the room, landing on a little cocktail table, standing in the middle, posing dramatically, being a little
Oh,
pimp
good.
out
A
at the same
gymnast
time
is coming to
somehow.
help me.
Nice.
All right, Deej, you're up.
Okay, so I got a rat that just bit me in the foot.
Yeah, you managed to shake it off your boot, and it is there hissing at you.
Very uncool. I kind of want to try and stomp on it. Do we have that option? Can we stomp on the rats?
You can make an unarmed attack, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, it'd probably be better just using my use a weapon. All right, I'm gonna swing at it with my longsword.
Cool.
So, do I need to click on it and then hit longsword, or just click longsword?
Nope, just click longsword.
Okay.
Everybody's whiffing today. As you are pulling out your longsword, it gets caught a little bit,
Oh,
and
shucks.
it gives this rat, who, with a little twinkle of intelligence in its eyes, scampers away.
I like to think that when I fell down, my sword got like stuck in my vest, and that's just why it didn't come out when I was trying
Yep.
to swing at him.
Exactly. But your sword is drawn now, and you're ready to go.
Right on. Can I move now? Because you said
You
it's
can.
scampered
It will,
away.
it will try to attack you again as you move, though.
Hmm.
There's an
Yeah.
action called disengage,
Mhm.
which allows you to leave a space without taking that attack. It requires you to use your full action.
Oh yeah, almost. I can't do that now then.
Right.
Okay, no. Yeah, I'll just wait and continue my sparring match with this very large rat. And then
Indeed,
once
the
he's dead, I'll-
ROUS.
There you go.
All right, Sten.
All right, so I had a
Don't let
brief
these guys
moment-
get away with this.
Yeah, a brief moment where I felt like I'd successfully protected most of the cheese except for that one regrettable wheel. But now these nightmares are just pouring in. I'm sort of fixated on the cheese as a way to like anchor myself in this utterly insane situation. So with that in mind, I'm yelling out to the barkeep, "Barkeep, the cheese is in danger! I haven't been paid for this yet!" And I'm going to try to attack this swarm with my hammer as best as I possibly can.
You hear him yell back weakly, "Take the cheese away! Lead them away!"
I will take that under advisement, but right now I'm going to try to fight off this swarm. So I just make a regular attack roll against them. I'm going to say this isn't a reckless
yep.
attack at this point. I'm less out of control of my faculties. Ooh, very nice.
I will
24.
definitely hit.
I am inspired by this cheese. Fairly weak roll, but
It's unfortunate. You swing right into the crowd. They scatter except for one little rat that gets completely flattened.
it is hard to do a lot of damage to a swarm of rats with a hammer, I suppose.
Do you want to try to move or do anything else this turn?
No, I'm going to stay right by the cheese, I think.
Okay.
Got a mission.
All right,
Indeed,
and these
indeed.
rats are going to get up in your business for killing their one brother. Oh, but again, you're able to run around and keep your feet moving fast. No rats
So-
get up on you.
So far, so good. How's the cheese? Still doing okay?
They keep running up onto it, but you manage to keep one hand free to just keep swiping them away.
All right, excellent.
All right, Eden, you're back. You're back up with the nopest of rats.
Yes. All right. I want to try to move back and then use my Emperor Palpatine lightning. How many spaces can I move in one turn?
6.
6. All right. I'll move back maybe 3.
Okay.
There we go. All right. And let's give this a shot. And it's a 7.
Whoa.
Oh, animation.
Man.
I mean, there was an animation for the people who were listening to us.
No, I just did that. You sheath your dagger, start working electricity between your hands, and throw it at the rat. But unfortunately, there are a bunch of metal fixtures around the rat,
Oh,
and you see the lightning lancing around them, turning the metal red, and eventually starting little fires in
No,
the
it's
booth
happening.
you were standing
Oh,
in before.
perfect.
it's happening.
Well,
I suppose this was inevitable.
See, this is what happens when you use magic.
By the
That's-
way, I didn't see an animation, so this
Oh,
it
Oh, no.
maybe it's my my
Your
awful
browser.
well yeah, maybe it's Safari, maybe it's the fact that I'm on one of those evil Macintosh computers.
So evil. So you'll see a little fire starting there as this rat decides that it doesn't want to be near fires or lightning. It scampers over, completely not seeing Gray Fox, and spends its entire turn running across the room.
what?
This rat continues its bout with Geej trying to get at his feet and underneath his sword. It does not hit though. Geej manages to keep it away with the
Thank
shield and
goodness.
feet. And swarm of rats, its prey denied, will again scamper towards the room with all the food in it.
Oh, God.
Okay. Gray Fox, you hear, now that all the rats are away, a loud yelling of a half-orc, and then also the intermittent slam of metal into wood coming from the back.
Okay, I asked the mage over there, do you have water powers where that lightning came from?
There are lots of beverages around, of
Yeah,
dubious
I
amounts
wish
of alcohol.
that I did, but unfortunately, no. I think that we might have to use what's lying around us.
Okay, so there's like water, there's beverages, you said?
Oh, there's definitely beverages. You're not sure which ones are water and which ones aren't.
Jeez.
Oh gosh.
Take a sip.
Well, okay, so that plan's out the window. I'm
Well, okay, Gray Fox, just so you know, one of your actions is called Fast Hands, and it's basically you can use object as a bonus action, which most people would have to take their whole turn looking at all the cups, but you're a rogue. One of the things you can do is look at all the cups as you're doing something else.
Very cool.
Oh, nice.
So you can be like running over there, looking, grabbing cups, tasting them, doing stuff like that as you go, if you want.
Well, I don't know if any of that works for what I'm about to do.
Well,
Sorry for
you
the noise in the
decide. You
background.
tell me what you're going to do.
I'm going to go over there and help Geej out, the masked guy, I guess.
Okay.
You don't want to let the rats kill me and just be like, mission complete.
Well, that's not entirely my job. I just need to tell
okay.
you. So maybe this.
And
can
you
make
can
my
very
job a
easily
little
get into flanking with this rat.
So let's make this fun too. So I'm gonna jump over to the other table and then launch an aerial attack, landing down and killing this rat.
This rat deserves this death. He's such a cool guy. Roll acrobatics to not slip on wet table.
All right, this is gonna be the best.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
oh, excellent. This is great. So you managed to do death from above on this giant rat. Roll an attack at advantage.
Got a 19 on acrobatics, so.
So I just come falling down with both of them just pointed down at this rat, both of these sickles, and just slices them into 3 pieces. But that's the goal.
You are going to hit with both weapons and additional sneak attack damage, adding up to 12, I believe. How do you want to kill that rat?
Oh yeah, yep. Just both of them, both those sickles just coming straight down and slicing them into 3 slices.
Awesome. Okay. Death from above does the hero pose, kneeling on the ground afterwards. Looks up at you, gives you a wink.
But that was cool.
All right, Eej, it's your turn. You can express how cool that was.
Gray Fox does a little bow.
I give him a thumbs up. I'm like, very cool. I know that the half orc was in the back because I can definitely hear him shouting. I saw him run in there, and I see the fires opened up over there by where the magic caster was. So I almost feel like we might as well just start setting things on fire. How many spaces can
Everyone
I move?
else is doing it.
You can move 6.
I can move 6. Okay. Ooh, I kind of want to grab a lantern and throw it at the doorway, but that would trap him in the pantry. So
Nice.
I don't want to do that. Can I make a torch? Is
What do
that
you
something
mean?
I can do? Can I improvise a torch with the flame from the lantern? So I'm not spreading flames around this inn willy-nilly?
I mean, you could pour little bits of the lantern oil out of the lantern and light it with something else, but making a torch is a little bit too much work.
Okay. Then I would like to grab the lantern here and throw it at the large rat that's adjacent me. Can I do that?
Okay. Make an attack as if you were using your daggers.
Okay.
Just use your dagger attack is what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that does it.
Nice. I know how to put out a fire, so if need be, I'll handle that quick.
The lantern is going to shatter on the rat, immolating it, and starting a large fire
A large fire! Oh, I shouldn't have done it.
of oil on the ground. It'll be fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Nothing bad will come of
It's
this.
not our bar.
All right.
I'll do what I can to smother that fire in a moment.
Presumably, at this point, seeing the other rats kind of starting to squeeze through the... I mean, I guess in my mind, they're all just one swarm of rats, unending.
Yes, it is a unending swarm of rats, it seems.
Presumably
notice how many
smelling a little
rats.
bit of smoke. At this point, I'm so taken aback and pissed off by the situation that I'm almost feeling... It's almost wrapping around to feeling kind of happy again. There's no worrying about how the people in the bar are looking at me. I'm just letting loose, not worrying about controlling my powers/curse. So I think Sten's gonna go into a rage.
Awesome.
I start glowing, smoldering, and hopefully that'll help out with the
Hopefully it
swarm.
doesn't start more fires. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but again, he's not worrying about that at the moment. Whatever, everything's gone to hell. Might as well
Hey,
free
look, I didn't
myself.
start the fire, okay? Magic Girl did.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But yes, so I'm gonna go into a. Is there a way for me to? Do we just add the bonuses manually, or is there a way for me to
Yes,
actually
we'll
talk?
just pay attention to that. You have resistance against normal damage.
Right. Okay. Yes.
And again, you don't have to go toe-to-toe with these rats. You can try to do something else.
Yes, admittedly. And in the back of my mind, I am thinking that the bartender's advice was pretty good to get the card out of here, but at the moment, I'm mostly focused on the swarm of rats and how it's sort of terrifying, and I want to hit them with my big hammer. So I'm going to do that. Not very effectively, though. I rolled a 9.
Nope, you're not gonna catch these rats. You're gonna be smashing up the floor or something fierce, though.
Yes, a little too unfocused, perhaps.
Yes.
But it is what it is.
All right. Rats are going to move underneath you and around you and make an attack and not hit.
Indeed.
And it is Eden's turn again. There's small fires licking up the wood right in front of you on either side of the booth. But behind you, you hear a shatter, and there's a near inferno in the center of the room.
Not that bad.
Now
Okay, well, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
it's small, but you
Okay.
know it will get out of hand soon.
Okay, at this point, I'm probably going to want to get the hell out of here. Can I see that there are any rats left in the joint?
It appears that they are all streaming into the back.
Hey.
Okay, well, I don't know that Sten is back there. So at this point, I'm probably going to try, if possible, I would want to try to leave and try to encourage these two other dudes that I see over here to come with me.
Well, you can hear that there's somebody in the back making a ruckus, but you don't know who it is. There is a very clear sound of raw smash. Rah,
A lot of
smash.
screaming and smashing.
Get off my cheese!
Okay, well, in that case, I will at least try to investigate just to make sure that nobody's in any great peril.
Oh, you will in fact see the bartender rush forward and start throwing water on the oil, which doesn't help. It in fact spreads it out
Oh,
more.
good.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to leave this town, aren't I?
Probably. You guys gonna run out?
For Christ's sake.
All right, well, I'm so far away at this point. After moving closer, is there really anything that I can do?
There's still rats in the door that you can see.
Can you hit those with magic from where you are, Molly?
If she moves forward, actually, even if she doesn't move forward, you can hit them from where you are.
Okay, well, I'll still try to get closer. 1 sec. All right, would Witch Bolt be able to hit them from here?
Mhm.
All right, I'm going. It didn't work so well last time, but I'm gonna give it another shot. I mean, the place is already going down in flames anyway, so let's just,
Might
what
as
difference does
well.
it make?
And that hits.
Well, he said he wasn't gonna be able to be in business after this anyway, so
Yeah, well, I'm really doing him a favor.
it would look really good on the insurance.
The advantage to Witch Bolt is it doesn't do the highest amount of damage, but once you hit, you can keep hitting as long as you maintain line of sight.
Oh, okay.
You auto-hit the next time you do it. Alright, you're going to deal 4 damage to these gents, and it is a little weird to see just your lightning zap a rat, and it clearly just flops over and has a little heart attack, and then
Aw.
move on to the next rat as it conducts through the little crowd.
That's effective.
It is Storm's turn. swarm, as it starts getting lightninged, is going to try to push its way through the door. It will get out of line of sight, and your lightning will crawl up the door, leaving little burn scorch marks, but nothing much will happen. But you know that it's lost connection. And it will make a bite attack on this good barbarian in here.
Ooh, ow.
And it crits.
Finally got to me.
So it's going to do 13 damage.
13 of my 35. That's hurt.
As the rats flee the lightningy death, they swarm into the room up on top of you, just gnawing little bites, and immediately jumping off because they get scalded, but it does hurt you quite a bit.
Back all covered with rat bites. Highly unpleasant. Oh wait, I get resistance from that, right?
Oh yes.
I'm in a rage.
So you're only going to take 6. Awesome. Everybody roll perception again.
Sten rolled a 10.
Eden rolled
By
a
the way,
21.
John.
Gray Fox has 22.
Eden and Grey Fox are going to hear that little flute in the periphery of their senses, but Eden, being closest to the window, will hear that it is coming from right behind her, out in front of the store.
Well, I
And
gotta
you'll
go check
see
it out.
that in the window there's a man with a tiny, tiny little fife, maybe 3-note fife, and he looks ugly and covered in rags. And it's Grey Fox's turn.
And I don't see that.
You hear it, but you don't see it.
Gray Fox kind of wants to go investigate into that direction, basically.
Sure. If Eden would have notified you of that fact, you can certainly do it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've heard the noise, though, right?
Yeah, but it's directionless for you.
Okay, true. All right. In that case, Gray Fox is now that the rat problem has been all but cleared up in this main kind of place, he's still kind of gonna let them sort it out. He thinks they got it handled in there because Guige is running towards it. It's just a small swarm of rats. The bartender doesn't seem to be too he's kind of preoccupied putting the fire out, so he kind of goes to the bar and takes one of the the drinks.
Reaches behind and grabs a bottle.
Yeah, and just puts it under the tap and grabs a quick drink.
Awesome. Fast hands. You can do that as a bonus action. What are you gonna do?
And then as he's drinking, he's kind of looking around to see if you can tell where that noise came from. So should I roll perception for that?
If you take the action just to look, yeah, you can see him. There's a weirdo out front.
Oh, really? So I have
your
I have
turn
more
is over
actions.
now that
Yeah.
you've spent the turn looking cool.
At the end of that, he kind of spits out his drink.
Awesome. All right, Geej.
You seriously just take your turn to steal a drink? There's a
Listen.
fire, there's rats in the back, there's a weirdo out front, and you're just gonna steal a drink.
Yeah, I was banging my tongue about it. They look like they've got. It's just a few swarms of rats in the back there. He's fine.
He just killed like freaking 3 rats or something.
Fair point.
This rogue, this guy. Okay, wow. Okay, do we all notice that there's some goobers sitting outside the window?
Only
Only us
Eden
two.
and Grey Fox have noticed.
Okay. Deluxe. Yeah, I my time playing D&D would tell me just to ignore the fire and try and kill the monsters, but I'm really determined to help save this bar. And I know if I don't try and put it out quick, it's going to get bigger. Could I try to smother it with my shield or
Definitely.
with my jacket? Okay, how would I do that?
Let's see. Let's make that an athletics roll.
For once, I'm going to get in a bar fight that doesn't end with the place burning down.
Someday.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Maybe not
the cards.
today, but someday.
Well, it's not for lack of trying. So do an athletics roll?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So you start smothering the fire with your metal shield, and it gets really hot, but you are making headway, and the fire seems to be, at the very least, not spreading anymore.
And this helps with the barkeep throwing water
And
down?
the barkeep, probably part of this is yelling at the barkeep to stop throwing water on it and go handle the other fire, because
Okay.
you're not supposed to throw water on oil fires, grease fires, and things like that. It's not a good idea. So he's going to start running over there with his bucket of water.
For
But
Christ's sake.
this thing is looking to be more under control.
All right, on. But that's all I can do, right?
Yep, that's your
pushing.
action.
Okay.
All right, Sten, you can do it.
Woo!
You got this.
Yeah, so
Keep your cheese safe.
yeah, I'm in a rage. There's a part in the back of my mind wanting to find a different way out of this, but I'm pretty much surrounded by rats now, so not much to do except fight back.
You are a rat man now.
So yes, indeed, I'm gonna do just that. 17 on my attack roll,
That
There you
hits.
go.
Ooh, some good stuff.
and that's actually +2, right? Because I'm raging currently.
Mhm.
I'm not sure which swarm I targeted there. Presumably the original swarm I was fighting.
Yeah, might as well focus fire, especially since it's just a massive.
Yeah, I mean
mass.
to me they're yeah.
Okay, You will see, as you swing your sledgehammer around, crushing rats and throwing them around the room, that the rats stop being just rats again, and they start acting weird. You see them all grabbing individual things that they can carry and running for the door. You can make an
What sort of things?
food, mostly.
Might
So are
be-
they grabbing it with their face, or are they grabbing it with their little weird forward paws and just running around on their back feet?
If they can, both. But most
Weird.
things they're grabbing with their face, and it's just
Okay.
they're dragging it behind them almost.
Gotcha.
You have a
very,
chance for
very weird.
an attack of opportunity, sir.
Oh, I do. Well, I will certainly take it because I am angry at these accursed things.
Make it.
I rolled a 12.
That hits.
Excellent, excellent.
But for the most part, they scurry out of the room, dragging apples and cheese wheels with them.
God, all my best efforts.
All right, Eden. Those rats got away from your lightning. How dare they?
Dang it.
The barkeep is running in front of you. He looks at you and he's like, "It was you! It was you who lit it on fire! Why?" But he doesn't seem to be sticking around to carry on with his accusation as he sprints across the room with his bucket.
Oh, geez. And I can still see the dude at the window?
Yep,
All right, can I go confront this dude?
for sure.
All right, but I guess I can only move 6 spaces, right? That's not enough for me to get out the door.
You can choose to use your action to move again, and then talking is free.
He's looking through a window, right? She can see him through a window?
Yes. You could also, run up to the window and be like, "Hey, you."
All right, I'll just do it through the window.
She has line of sight with him?
Yes, you have line of sight, but not line of action, because there's glass in between.
Okay.
Or at least shutters.
All right, have I been able to figure out at this point that the flute that he's playing is controlling the rats?
Roll Arcana. This is another thing you can do is roll one information roll per turn, which is look at something and be like, do I know what that is? Or do I know what this would do?
Okay, so 15.
That flute is definitely made of silver. It is definitely controlling these rats, but you're not sure how. Not something we've heard of before.
Okay, at the very least, I would want to... I know that something weird's going on. I would want to try to distract the guy
You can
or
also see
startle
that
him,
it is
but with
burning his hands.
that the flute is
Ooh.
burning his hands.
Yes.
Wow. That's hardcore.
All right, well, I want to try to somehow distract or startle him without necessarily hurting him.
All right, how do you do it?
Could I just run right up to him and try to take the flute?
If you tackle your way through the glass, yeah.
Oh boy.
That'd be so hardcore. Just dive through the
Very
window.
heroic.
What could I roll for that?
It would be athletics, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try.
Shooting lightning bolts and tackling people through windows. Jesus Christ.
All right, so he is going to make a strength save to not let you take that away from him. You are going to get through the window, definitely, because glass is not super strong. But he is going to stop playing and hold the flute away from you as you dive tackle him and don't get to knock him over. But you are now outside with him, and he looks very perturbed.
And he's not playing it anymore, at least.
Nope. It is Swarm of Rats' turn. You will see them, because this is all happening simultaneously, start to scatter away from you, grabbing things. But right as you hear the flute stop playing, they are going to turn back on you and make an attack.
Great.
But they do not hit.
Ah,
They, in fact, critically fail, and a couple of them get stomped under your feet.
take that.
Gray Fox.
Okay. Gray Fox, at this point, he sees the sketchy dude playing the flute, and he sees this girl tackle through the glass. He's really impressed, actually.
Which is so hardcore.
Yeah, he's
It
like,
is.
wow, like, that's good form. He's like, yeah, let me go help her out. So he kind of makes a sprint towards her, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess.
And
would be.
rogues can bonus action to sprint again.
Yeah, well, or I didn't know that was like an action, but he just kind of like runs over there. What he'd like to do is use his grappling hook and catch this guy.
Oh, you're throwing the grappling hook at him?
Yeah, can I do this?
I am not sure. I feel like, actually, yeah, sure, why not? It's
I-
going
I
to
didn't
be at
actually set it up as
disadvantage
an
because you're
attack.
throwing it through a bunch of broken glass edges and past a person, but yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay, I didn't set it up as an attack though, so you might have to help me with this.
Just roll one of your dexterity attacks, so any of your daggers or sides will do the same thing.
So just you do it like a
Like a
just roll
dagger.
the dex-
It's a thrown attack, yeah.
Just click on one of your weapons. All of them are dexterity based.
Okay, so like a 24.
It will be a disadvantage,
Oh,
so
oops,
it's a
oops,
9,
oops.
unfortunately.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, so close to the sun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a critical fail, so it doesn't hit Eden, at least. Your rope will fly through the window, but the grappling hook will catch on one edge, and it will get stuck in something, a little shard of wood.
Oh well.
as this guy looks very panicked at both of you. You can hardly see his face. It's wrapped up with a little slit for his lips and a little slit for his eyes in rags, and he looks like he's not a big fan of you guys throwing things at him and tackling him. Geej,
Okay.
this fire looks like you might be able to put it out if you really get on it.
I've got like 80s action music going in my head. I could do this. Put out this fire. I saw Eden just go full quarterback, jump out the window,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw, okay.
It's always a good thing when you have a mage that just goes nuts on people.
Apparently, I mean, she's dressed like a noblewoman, so I thought, like, oh, she's just gonna run out of here, but she's doing lunges out windows. Okay, I guess I'll do another attempt to smother the flame. Was it
Athletics again.
23?
That flame
Nice.
is out.
Yes, I have saved an in for once.
Was that both flames out now?
The one in the middle of the room, the oil
Ah, okay.
fire from the lamp,
The
is
bad one.
out. It's still smoldering, but it's not gonna be a problem. Anyway, you have a move.
Oh, I can move now.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Because
Yeah, I
what you're
would've-
doing is moving around the whole time. Oop, you weren't stretching though. No, sir.
I wouldn't make it to the front door, right?
Could not make it to the front door. You could make it into the pantry.
Yeah. I'm gonna head for the pantry. I can move a
This
max
is a
of-
fun tool to use.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If I go here, can I attack it? The rat?
If you go here, you could
Oh,
attack the
I
rat, but
can't.
you've already
Okay.
used your action,
Okay, so I'm just gonna move in.
and you're
distract
now
them out.
threatening the rat.
Yes. And if I need to, I'm gonna like if it tries to hit him, I'm gonna do it's called protection.
Right.
Yeah.
As you step into the room, you have to duck a swinging sledgehammer.
Did I roll
Sorry.
for that?
No,
Okay.
thematically.
Thank you. All right,
All right.
I'm in there.
Sten.
I'll lend a hand.
So the rats. So I see some rats are streaming out. Do I have a
Yes.
sense of like? Do I have a sense that they're all doing that?
No, it appears they are disorganized now. They're
Oh.
just running around. Some of them are coming back to attack you. Some of them are pleased to find food in their mouths and are running away.
Okay, so they are mostly focused. So am I still like near my cart? What's left of it?
Yep.
Is there anything salvageable in there?
There's probably about half of the cart left.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. I think. Okay, at this point, I think I'm kind of coming out of my reverie, so I think I can just turn off my rage. I will. Do I have any options to attack if they attack me or anything like that? Is there any sort of conditional? I'm not that familiar with
There is.
combat
You
rules.
can prepare a reaction.
Okay, can I do that? So if they retreat, I don't want to like stop their retreat. But if they continue to come at the cheese, I want to attack.
There's
that's
definitely
something I
one
can
of
do?
them with a cheese wheel in its mouth.
Okay, then in fact I will attack. At least that bastard. So yes, I will do that.
It is tugging it towards the door. Tug, tug.
10.
And that hits.
Oh, what do you know? A mere 4 though.
Luckily, you managed to squish that specific rat.
Excellent.
Several of the swarm are still alive. You will hear outside there is a scurry, 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 scurry.
Noted.
And it is Eden's turn. As you jumped out of the window and scrambled for this man's fife, he is holding it up and backing away and looks with wide and panicked eyes at you.
At this point, I know something sketchy is going on. I'm going to try to use, I'm going to reach out and try to use Shocking Grasp.
Awesome.
And it's an 11.
He is a little too quick for you as he dodges back from your crackling hand, and it looks like he's getting ready to run.
Oh, snap.
The swarm of rats in here is going to book it. Do you guys want to take your attacks?
Heck yeah, throw one in there.
All right. cool.
Yes, I will.
If either of you hit that, the last couple rats are going to lose it.
Roll a 15.
I like this because Sten continues to smash the last couple rats, and Beej comes in and swings his sword around, slashing at some of the wood, and
Nice.
and in his mind, scaring the rats off.
The decisive blows, yes.
And it looks very much like you just went and rescued him.
Well, I'm doing what I can, you know. Need help?
Beej is a hero.
Yep. Well, I put out that fire.
Yeah, you
Come on
did.
now.
All right, Gray Fox.
All right, so Gray Fox he's kind of disappointed that his grappling hook maneuver didn't work because
Your grappling hook is tangled in the window.
yeah, he was like, oh man, like she did such an impressive leap through the window that he kind of
Showed you up.
needed to be on par with that. So his self-esteem isn't totally shot. He did do a cool table flip thing, but he's gonna try to kind of dash through the window a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, he kind of goes right by the dude. What I want to know is, can he intimidate him to like standing down?
You can certainly try. What kind of angle are you going to go for?
That we kind of cornered him, and
Well, he
oh,
is
not-
on
sorry.
a street behind him.
Actually, okay, maybe he's just gonna go for the attack. With his dual sickles.
Okay. You don't have advantage, but you do have sneak attack because you are flanking. I mean, you have an ally next to you.
I think I did the roll on accident, or the wrong
Yeah,
roll.
just do the roll again, but regular.
Okay.
The first sickle you bring down, he is dodging away from an electrified hand, and you jump over Eden as she's leaning forward and swing the first sickle, and he brings up what looks like a small dagger and blocks it. But your second sickle comes down and slashes just a little through the cloth on his arm, and you know you didn't bite down too deep, but you hear him hiss really loudly, and you can see steam and blood splurting out more than
Whoa.
it should. Each. You're a hero. Look at you saving this Sten fella.
Well, first I asked him if he's alright.
You guys can talk
May I respond? Okay, yeah.
very
So
shortly.
I'm panting, sort of recovering from my rage, kind of getting composure myself again, looking over the cheese. Yeah, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Well, we should try and help the others. There's still a fire, and I saw a lady jump out a window. I think they might need help.
I look at him, sort of nod, but I'm going to take the cheese out with me. I'll kind of wheel the cheese out slowly into the common
Priorities.
area, see what's going on.
He's gonna get billed for that cheese. You
Yeah.
know it.
This
So,
is how I'm feeling, yes.
I'm gonna head back out into the main room,
Okay.
in the tavern space, and I can only go 30 feet, so I'm gonna head as far in as I can.
And remember, you can use your action to again move 30 more feet.
That requires a superiority die, right?
Nope. This
No,
is
it
something everybody can do. You can not do something and just keep running.
Oh, okay. So move 2 spaces because I didn't take an action. Okay, then I'm gonna move.
So you can move 60 feet.
Right. So yeah, I'll move kind of back towards the center of the room, and I will from there assess whether I'm going to help out with the guy outside or what's lingering at the fire, and that'll complete my turn, I reckon.
Yes, you see a little flurry of action going on outside. Okay, Sten, so you're grabbing your cheese cart
Yes, I'm going to grab the cart. I'm
and burst
still
through the door.
new to this insanity, so yes, I wouldn't say necessarily burst, but I'm still, as I'm getting back into my normal self, I'm again kind of worried that people are going to blame this on me, as ridiculous as that sounds. So yes, I'm going to kind of slowly, tentatively wheel the cheese cart out there, assess the room, maybe not run quite as fast as Gage was.
Right, you're going to spend an action grabbing the cart, and you'll be able to get a full move out of it. So
So to there, so did I just screw up?
that's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Cart is
And
now
this
here.
room looks safe to have the cart in. It's not currently on
It
fire.
appears to
or-
be empty. Your cart is sitting on some embery ground, but it is not currently burning.
All right. Excellent.
There are little scratches everywhere, and you can see that a couple of the wheels that you have still have little gnawing marks in them.
All right.
But you might be able to melt the wax, get it to look normal again.
I'm just focused on not looking like a man who was just had his eyes blazing with fire.
Right. The first thing this guy is going to do is stuff his little fife away into some pockets, and he is going to try to stab Gray Fox
Oh,
with his
snap.
short sword,
Whoa.
and he will
Oh,
hit,
buddy.
and you take 5 damage.
Do I do anything to dodge that, or?
No, your AC
Well-
is what you use to dodge that, unfortunately. He's going to lean over in a very unsettling movement where he moves his whole body out of the way of your hand and comes up to bite you, Eden.
Well. that's
And you take 3
Ouch.
damage, but roll a Constitution save.
Wow. Ooh.
I rolled
You
a
feel
12.
like your arm is burning ever so slightly, but you will feel no ill effects in the next several minutes.
Well, that's encouraging.
He will begin to sprint away.
Have you ever
You
gone
guys
to
want
a
to take
bar?
attacks of opportunity before he leaves?
Remind me what that means, or how that works.
You can make any attack that is melee.
And what's the difference between melee and not melee? Oh, snap! He's running!
All of your spells will say either melee or ranged. So, like, Shocking Grasp is melee, and your dagger is melee. And I assume Grey Fox is also going to make a attack of opportunity.
There's no particular penalty for taking an attack opportunity, right? It's just whether you want to hit the guy or not.
It's the only possible penalty I could think of is if you were going to use some other reaction. Like, Geach
Right,
can
right.
defend people with a shield, and he wouldn't be able to do that if he took the reaction to attack.
Would I be able to, rather than let him run away, try to trip him with the sickle?
It would be a grapple check, and yes, you can try to tackle him to the ground / trip him.
Yeah. So let me try to do that then.
Do you want to try to do it with finesse, or do you want to try to do it with bodily force? Do you want to, like, full-on tackle him?
Oh,
Or
no,
try to,
finesse,
like,
of course.
Do a kung fu trip.
Get real.
Alright, so it's going to be competing dexterity rolls,
So what would I roll?
a acrobatics save. Acrobatics.
Okay.
He is going to trip, but only a little bit, so he will stumble and only move 10 less.
Okay. I'm okay. with that.
And Eden, what were you doing?
Let's see. I guess if it has to be melee, I'm gonna have to do shocking grasp because it's the only option.
Right. Ooh, that is.
Nice.
Stun him, Eden, stun him.
All right.
That guy just bit you. Don't let him get away.
You managed to get some of his cloak, and you can see some of his hair singe off on the back,
Yes.
but it doesn't seem like it did a whole lot of damage.
Well, it's better than I've been doing. So.
It is the end of a round. All the enemies are gone or in full retreat. So this will be more of a role-playing situation now rather than a strict rules, distance, whatnot. This guy is sprinting down the street in rags. People are starting to gather to look around because there's some smoke coming out of the building, and a large crowd of people fled because of a demon swarm of rats. What do you guys do? Besides Sten, who is tentatively turning over cheese whiz and wondering how much money he will have to spend.
Indeed. Is the owner anywhere in sight? Did he flee entirely?
The bartender is over by the booths and throwing water on them.
Okay.
You know he will finish relatively quickly and mayhaps turn his attention to you guys.
Gray Fox wants to catch this rodent guy because he knows that everything's gonna get pinned on an innocent party or whatever. So
Yeah,
I
and
mean-
at this point I do too, especially since Eden knows that technically it was her that started the fire. But because this guy started the chaos, she wants to catch him. So I'm gonna look at Gray Fox and I'm like, I'm gonna say, come on, we got to go after this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and so can I do like a regular combat type move or what?
Well, you guys have declared your actions. You're going to start chasing him. What are Geej and Sten doing?
So did I see what was happening through the broken window?
Oh yeah, you were coming back and saw through the broken window them having a short tussle and then the man running away.
I start running for the door and I shout back at Stenwick, "We got to catch that guy." And I'm just booking it because I'm going to help him out.
So Sten never perceived that guy at all, right? I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Right,
Is that
you in the
correct?
pantry.
You
Did
would
I
have
hear
seen
I
him
think I heard
as you
the
came
flute
out.
at one point, right? I heard the flute at one point, right?
You did.
Okay. Can I do like a perception check or insight or something to see if the owner is like basically I want to try to ascertain whether I'm about to be yelled at or praised in some like basically whether he hates me or not.
Roll a basic wisdom save.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
20. Natural 20.
You crit. You know everything about this situation. You know that this guy. This is partially maybe your pessimism, but you feel like you've got a good handle on this. You think this guy is going to blame you for drawing the rats in with your cheese,
Yeah. That was what I was afraid of. In that
and
case,
that it's all a ploy to take his business away.
yeah.
And you're an orc, so people will believe that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That was basically what I was worried was the case, and yeah, whether or not I'm actually sensing that accurately, that's definitely the feeling I'm getting, and I am going to.
Also, this fellow Geej just said, "Look, a suspect."
Right. Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna leave the cheese behind. It's relatively safe here. He's probably not gonna pay me for it anyways, and I'm gonna run after Geej.
Awesome. We are going to enter something that I kind of liked from 4th edition, which is a skills challenge. These are going to be skills you're rolling. You get to kind of make up what's going on. There is ideally interesting situations that you can solve with your skills. You want to succeed 6 times before you fail 3 times. And so there will be things like, this is a chase through a crowded city of a very lithe man, but it's all 4 of you, so you get to cooperate. So let's say a cart gets pushed into the street right as he passes, and Gray Fox is, I want to roll acrobatics to do a cool flip over or slide under or something like that. But this gives you a chance to be creative and sort of steer the story in a way you want it to go. Sten will represent failure because he has the most to lose, maybe, and Gray Fox will represent success because nobody dances on the table like he does. All right. We're going to go in the same initiative order, and it's going to start with Eden.
Okay, so I guess I'm a little bit confused as to how this works.
And again, you can ask for suggestions. So basically, you are going to narrate something that happens. Some way that he starts to get away, or a challenge you encounter whilst trying to chase him. So the goal you're working towards is I catch him. But none of your roles are I catch him. It's always something impedes me from catching him. I beat it by doing this.
Okay. I mean, I guess let's start with something simple. Let's say he hops over a fence and I have to also either hop over or slide under that same fence.
Gotcha. You can use either athletics or acrobatics for that, I believe.
Excellent.
And I rolled a 16 acrobatics.
Awesome. As Gray Fox, Geege, and Eden run down the street, a small, not, overly small, but relatively small fence gets hopped, and Gray Fox and Geege, both being athletic type warrior/rogues, just jump over, but they're not particularly physically inclined mage behind them. They glance behind them thinking, maybe she won't make it, and she does a perfect vault with just holding her dress in one hand and vaulting over with the other hand and just hits the ground running.
If I could, I would stop running to clap.
You can clap while you run. All right, Gray Fox.
There you go.
Okay, so this is like, all right, if I'm getting the situation correctly, now we're like in the street now, like we're just chasing him down some street.
Yes.
Okay.
Or through some degree of alleyways.
Okay. At this point, we're a little bit ahead of Eden now, Gray Fox and Geege and Stenwick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna yell over at Sten, hey Orc, think you can throw me?
Toss me.
And so he runs ahead a bit and kind of jumps in the air in front of Sten.
I'm happy to help with that.
Are you talking about like a bootstrap? He squats and interlocks his fingers and throws you up to the roof or something?
Yeah, but while we're running.
Awesome.
So he just kind of like, just to sort of launch him forward into like trying to fly towards the rat guy.
Gotcha. Roll acrobatics. I believe that would also stand for that one.
Nice. 23.
Ooh. Oh man. It will be a situation in which you get hurled up and you're coming down thinking, soaring through the air like an eagle. It's a wondrous feeling.
You even hear an eagle cry, like at the peak of the jump.
Yes. But as you're coming down, you realize you're getting into the market where there are beams and little cloths to block the shade and things like that, and you soar over them and land on top. And you're now in an advantageous position to continue the chase up on the roofs. He is beneath you running through crowds.
Nice. So I kind of just see him from above.
You're able to maintain the chase. And let's go to Geege.
Okay.
So you guys are chasing him now through a crowded bazaar. The Grand Bazaar, in fact.
I feel like it looks like he's picking up speed, and I want to try and slow him down, but he's still keeping a good pace.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab something nearby and just try and beat him in the back of the head with it. Chuck it at him as hard as I can. So I guess I would use athletics.
Yep.
As I'm running, I'm looking for something to grab. I see like various objects on the counter. Like, oh no, but if I do that, it'll be stealing.
Just throw a lime and drop a copper.
Yeah.
So drive-by fruiting.
I'm gonna. Do we have durians?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a durian because they're spiked and they smell, and I want him to be. And I want him to be thoroughly insulted when he gets hit in the back of the head with a durian if I make the throw.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna throw a durian at him.
Gray Fox, as he's running and looking down, sees a small, spiny, yellow object fly through the air just above the heads of the crowd and thwack this man in the back of the head, who he falls immediately over something, tumbling into a little crowd of people, and creates a little ruckus of people yelling at him and shoving him around before he manages to extricate himself. And you can see that Geege and Sten and Eden are catching up. It is Sten's turn.
All right, excellent. Aside from noting the strangeness of the man who just threw fruit at the person, I'm charging along with them and perhaps ducks into a building or maybe through a gate and slams the door shut. And I'm able to follow him by watching Gray Fox dancing over the rooftops and such. And we sort of run parallel to him for a while until eventually come to sort of a thin point of a wall, perhaps. And I'm going to try to smash through that and get us back on his trail. Whoa!
All right. Wait till the fence gets real rotted. Just try to bust through. Cool.
You're in a Kool-Aid Man, aren't you?
Kool-Aid Man, yes.
Yeah.
Strength check, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
A 10.
Oh.
Not so great.
Not so great. Unfortunately, you see Sten think this fence looks pretty rotted, and you see him run away from the fence for a second and then come back in at an angle and just shoulder check the fence, but completely just bounce off and tumble and hit the ground.
Ow.
Upon closer inspection, you can see that there is just a big crate behind it, the fence. And Sten shakes his head, gets to his feet, squints at the fence, and runs again, and smashes through a part just 2 feet over. You guys are slowed in your pursuit.
Behind.
It is Eden's turn. Whilst you're running, you see this man slowly go to all fours and start accelerating.
That's not normal.
Whoa.
He is not a normal person.
Yeah, I think that would be a very educated guess, Geege.
Oh, I shout at you as we're running. I say, he's not normal.
This witty repartee continues through the run.
Okay, so at one point, the strange rat man makes a left turn heading towards another busy street, and most of us are about a block behind him. I passed an alleyway that runs kind of diagonal towards the street he's heading towards, and I think, okay, if I can head into this alleyway, I might be able to cut him off and get ahead of him.
Okay, so are you using a streetwise style wisdom check?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Wisdom save. Go. Ooh, nice.
17.
Very nice.
You've somehow gotten into the nice area of town, and she knows where he's going, or at least where the best way to go is, and runs off randomly down a different way, and she will come out in front of him at some point, holding up crackly fists, and he will skid to a halt, look both ways, and run down a separate alley as Sten and Geach catch up behind him, and of course Grey Fox makes a majestic leap off a roof to another roof. Grey Fox.
So where exactly is he at this point? Like, what does Gray Fox see?
You see him stop and change direction randomly. And that could be your skill, is because you have the
Like
bird's eye
recon?
view, you can try to anticipate where he's actually going.
Oh, okay.
Especially because your skill is you know the cities really well.
Yeah, true.
That would likely be an intelligence check.
All right. I'm okay with that. I'll do that. That would be a 15.
Oh, nice. You can see that he is definitely heading towards one of the entrances where the sewer empties out into the ocean.
All right. So at this point, like off the roof, I kind of yell down at the fellow chasers and say, "He's headed towards the sewer. Go down that way."
And they do. You guys are catching up to him, and since you know exactly where he's going, and there's 4 of you, it's very easy to get him in a pincer.
I wish
Each-
yakety sax were playing in the background right now. Or something that you might hear during a Scooby-Doo chase.
Do we know that he's going to the sewer opening?
Yes, where it opens and pours out into the ocean. This is the moment where you will either catch him or he will get further away.
I'm
So
looking
keep
at.
that in mind, narrative.
Make it happen.
I mean, then I feel like I should do athletics again.
Just that final sprint.
But I have a really wild idea. You guys tell me if you like it or not, or if it's too goofy.
All right.
I have a 3 in animal handling. I kind of want to like, if I see a dog, I want to like wave my hand in front of it so it smells the durian, and then like, go get him, boy, and just like, have a dog chase after him as we're running. Should I go for that, or should I just do something more practical with athletics? It would be funny if I just got a local dog to chase after him with us. But
Let's
if
say
not,
you see one of the guardsmen with bloodhound. It just the guardsman just happens to be your good friend.
Lester?
Lester.
okay.
And he's standing there with another guardsman, just sort of chatting with their greyhound, not having
Okay.
noticed the on all fours man who scurried past their alleyway.
Hopefully, the greyhound will also smell the durian that I have on my hand, because the durian's also on the rat man. But I'm sure he smells anyway because he's a rat man. Try and use animal handling to encourage you to help us chase him.
All right, awesome.
I rolled a 16.
So you come up, Geej, what are you doing? What's going on?
I shout, chasing a guy. Pretty sure he's bad. I need to borrow the dog.
Okay. And he hands over the rope leash to you, and you wave your hand in front of the dog's nose. First nips at you, but then eventually takes the scent and starts yanking off in the direction of this thing. As it's sprinting down towards the docks, you release the dog, and it just hauls ahead and takes this man down
Yeah.
and starts,
Excellent.
very violently gnawing on the back of his arm. But
No
you
way.
guys
There's no
catch
way.
up.
No way a dog would have missed that scent.
No way. This creature is on the ground with a big dog on him as you guys approach. What do you do? The dog appears to be vigorously shaking one of its arms back and forth.
As I jog up toward it, I put my hands on my hips and I stand akimbo, nodding my head, looking pretty satisfied with my idea.
Like you've done a good job.
I was like, good work I did. Thinking of using the dog.
Do you just clap your hands together and say self high five?
No. I'm just standing there with a very satisfied smirk. Kimbo, I don't even care. I'm not even in engaged situation. I'm just admiring it.
And the rest of you?
Well, I'm gonna step up to him. If no one else is, I'm gonna get in his face and be like, "You just cost me money and reputation. What did you just do that back there?"
When you get in up and close enough, because the dog is basically standing on his back, wiggling one of his arms around. As you get closer, you can see that there are claws coming out of the little linen gloves, and when his face turns to yours, you see that his nose is elongated. There are giant teeth, very sharp, coming out of his face.
Oh God.
Little beady rat eyes are shaking at you in terror, and it is trying to get up, but the dog is not letting it.
The dog is restraining it.
Oh, okay. So you said he
I
looks
will
scared?
back off
Red
ever
man?
so slightly from the sharp teeth.
Did the rat man look scared?
Well, as much
I
as
can see
a
that.
rat can look scared, also this
Right.
rat man also looks scared.
Okay.
Is he still holding the fife?
He pocketed it before he ran. It seems to reason that he would still have it, but maybe not.
I look between Sten and Gray Fox. Can I
I'm
tell
still
Sten?
up on a roof.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Are you
I look-
Batmaning around? Just looking at the
Well,
thing?
how about I take the grappling hook and like throw it on a street lamp and kind of like swing downwards towards them.
That sounds good.
I give you a thumbs up. I say very cool.
Thank you.
You can see a couple of guardsmen jogging towards you from afar.
I'm gonna try and get the dog off him. And I tell Sten, I'm like, hold him down. I want to search him, see what's on him.
So you get this dog off of this creature, and he immediately tries to run away. He wriggles in your hands quite a bit, and you feel like what you're holding is moving around underneath your hands. Like the actual skin is moving, not just the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a little hard to tell underneath the cloth.
Something isn't right about this guy.
Well, yeah, I said he wasn't normal.
Geej is pulling the dog back, and now he is accessible. He is not talking. He is making little hissing noises, but that's about it.
Is Gray Fox near enough to hear us?
Yeah, I mean I swung down to you guys, so
Gray Fox, can you check his pockets to see if he's got anything on there that might give us trouble? So we get more information.
I use my excellent skills in checking pockets to
Exactly.
check the rat's pockets.
Awesome. You frisk him and immediately find a short sword that is jagged in the way of really scummy thieves, people who've got kind of a twisted sense of, I want people to suffer more before they die.
Like a really sadistic like knife.
Yeah. A little tiny silver fife, some money, which I will just award you guys at the end of the session.
Cool.
Because nothing slows down in a game like distributing money.
I was gonna say.
I should say, actually, no. I refer to them as Orc and Rogue because I don't know their names yet.
The other thing you find is a sheaf of paper, all rolled up, tattered at the edges.
I read this paper.
It appears to be lines
some
with
other
marks
language.
on it. Roll history real quick. You can all roll it because I assume you can all sort of see the paper when you unroll
History?
unfurls it. Yeah.
He's garbage.
It's just a 7 here. Ooh.
Oh,
18.
Oops, I rolled it with the advantage on.
It's okay. Only Eden recognizes this. The rest of you assume that it's some sort of arcane nonsense.
Sure.
Eden can tell that it is actually a composition of music.
what does it say, Wizard Girl?
It's some sort of musical composition, and now suddenly all of this is coming together because I don't know if the rest of you noticed this, but right before we gave chase, this guy was playing this small fife here. It was burning his hands. There's something weird about this fife.
You guys hear as she says this, a young blonde man and his slightly more rotund compatriot, both wearing chainmail and shields and spears, jogging up behind you, breathing heavily. What was all that? What's this? What's going on, Geej? You just got out. Why are you sicking a dog on? Whoa, that's not a dude.
No, he's not normal.
What's going on, guys?
We apprehended this guy who tore up a bar.
For what? Besides being real weird looking.
Is someone
You
holding
want
the
to tell him about the?
is someone holding the fife?
I'm holding the fife, so I mean, I say to the guards, you might want to take a look at this. He was playing this, and it forced the rats on a swarm of rats upon the bar or the tavern.
They both look real close. Yep, that looks like magic. We'll take that, and they hold out their hand for the fife.
The thief in me reluctantly looks at the fife, and then looks at the other people.
You can always try to talk your way out of it, Mr. Talking Man.
I say, you know what? Before I give this to you, let's have the wizard here kind of take this back to the temple and take a look at it, and
All
have
right.
them, take a look at it.
You're gonna roll a persuasion check for that. Do you want to help him with that, Eden?
Yeah, why not?
Roll Arcana.
Well,
Well, this might turn out okay. Yep, it's gonna turn out
nice.
okay. So roll your persuasion again because you're going to be rolling at advantage because she spouts some arcane nonsense that makes them very impressed.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. So this is
I'll
a
take
thing
it.
in the game. You can roll skills, but if you can argue that somebody is helping you with that roll, like in this case,
I started to use the
Gray
arcane
Gray
angle.
Fox is saying, "Oh, our super good wizard right here should totally handle this object because she is a super cool wizard," and looks at you, Eden, pointedly, and says, with his eyes, "Look super cool and wizardy, please." And then you,
Yeah, in fact, you do.
make some cool sparkles with your fingers and look sagely, and then you are helping him, and he gains advantage.
Nice, nice. So,
And this can be
yeah.
any combination of things, as long as it makes sense narratively. All right, so
I might want to, if I could chip in, just to let everyone know, the guards, perhaps especially, that they seem to be. This sounds crazy, but I think they were just after food. They were raiding the pantry in that bar. I don't know why, but
you know what? Then is it? I think I've seen you in the precinct before. We're not interested in what you have to say, frankly.
Who said this?
I glower.
His rotund buddy.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what happened.
As the heavier guard says that, I shoot a glance to Uster, like, Uster, come on, this guy. Your
Esther
cohort.
shrugs and looks sheepish.
Yeah, so I see he's given
And
Sten
then
a
he-
hard time.
He will ask right after that, did any of you see these rats? Were they just there for the food?
I then start to explain the situation, and I say, yeah, it was several rats, even swarms of rats. They came in, started taking the food. We were able to kill many of them. I think the place was called the Skyward Vine. Was that what it was called?
Yes.
Yeah, I tell him they can even go speak to the barkeep. He'll verify all of this. And what's left of what Sten had delivered, the orchid delivered, we brought into the main room, so it was more secure. But yeah, so I'm
Well,
basically trying to.
Very
I'm trying
good of
to-
you to secure the cheese, I suppose.
I try to explain it to them so they understand that what went down was a result of the rats and not anyone's fault here.
Right.
I'm-
They are.
Withdrawn, but just grumbling. They really wanted that cheese.
They will come up with some restraints, basically just rope pre-tied, and will start to pull the arms of the man-ish rat behind him. Sten, make another athletics check.
Oh,
Very well.
something crazy gonna happen.
22.
Nice.
Bring it.
As they are putting the restraints over the back of its arms, the arms shrink even smaller. The place you're holding to just shrinks and slips out of your hands.
Yeah.
You are going to see the rags collapse in on themselves and a rat dart out of the front of it, but Sten is able to grab it just by the scruff of its hair.
A little,
its neck.
like how big a rat?
Basketball size.
Oh dear.
So still pretty big.
Gotcha.
And it is
You're not going
wriggling in
anywhere.
your hands and trying to snap at you, but you've got it handily. And both of the guards just step back and very much throw their hands up and go, we should just kill that thing. No way we're going to be able to keep it. Rats get anywhere. And one of them points at a little crate that's about the size of, 2 bread boxes put together and shrugs at you guys.
Suggesting that we put it in there? Is that what?
Yeah,
We still don't know what this
they
thing
seem to be
wants.
offering either kill it or put it in this box and we'll take it off your hands. But they're not.
Oh, I
Sure.
thought they meant put it in a box and then we'll throw it in the water and drown it.
Well, Sten still wants this thing to clear his name because he knows that either his boss or the owner of the inn or both are going to be screaming for his blood.
Speaking
So
of which,
he's-
roll perception.
Oh, very well.
Just Sten.
17.
You can see your boss pulling up the dock towards you.
Oh, God.
Eden Cinderglass, a squat, shaved head, but you can see the little black stubble all over his head and all over his beard should be, striding towards you with very simple but well-maintained clothes and little leather gloves. He is looking at you, giving you the real good stink eye, because here you are, sans cart,
Yes, yes. I'm just going to...
with the police.
It's about as bad as it gets. I'm just going to grumble out. There were rats. There was this rat, and I'm going to try to put them work on getting them into that crate that they were pointing at.
You expect me to believe that this rat, and he points at the rat wriggling in your hands, made you lose your shipment? Where is it? Where's the cart?
There were a lot of them.
I see things are not going well for Sten, and I feel he's not a bad guy. So I try to enter the discussion. I introduce myself, and I think it's probably the first time everyone learns who I am. I say, "Hello, sir. I'm Gijus Bolt."
Do you know what happened here?
Yeah. So I start to tell him the same story of what happened at the inn, and then I look to Uster because they're still there, right?
Yeah.
So that Uster can also give verification that this was a person who suddenly turned into a rat. So it's crazy magic stuff happening.
Well, that thing definitely turned into a rat, sir. But I don't know about this inn business. We're gonna have to check on that.
And
Yeah.
I nod in an agreeable way, not trying to come off like I'm challenging him or anything.
Okay, can I step in for a second? I just want to say that there are other people who can verify this story. Eden wants to stick up for Sten as well because she knows that he was only trying to help and that obviously none of this was his fault.
Gotcha. And you will see Edan put his hands up and say, I'm sorry, boy. I jumped to conclusions. I shouldn't have.
It's all right. I don't half believe it myself.
So this rat's a man?
It was a man, I think.
Well, none of us are exactly sure
Had teeth, though.
what he is, but we do know that he was vaguely human before now.
That's unsettling.
Was wearing clothes. Don't know if it was a man exactly.
I look to the red-haired magic girl and I say, "Do you know magic? I mean, it looks like it. Do you know anything about it? Can you magic information from it?" I don't understand magic at all. I just know she shot lightning bolts and said really cool things that impressed people a moment ago.
Well, if you're looking for me to be some sort of expert on magic, I don't know if I can help you there. Yes, I do have certain powers, but I've not been the best at controlling them.
Well, I don't know. I just thought maybe you can gather information from its magic aura. Clearly, I'm saying more things that show I know very little about magic.
I don't know if I have a spell for that.
Okay. So I think as Sten is trying to sort things out with Egan, because I'm curious about this creature, I don't think we want to kill it. I mean, I don't want to kill it, and neither does Sten seem to want to. So I try to speak to it in the languages I know, seeing if it has the wherewithal to understand what I'm saying.
All right. So you speak in a few different languages. Roll animal handling to see if you get any reaction out of it.
Ugh, a 7.
Looks like a rat being a rat in a box.
Darn it. Okay.
And you're talking to it.
This guy is crazy.
If
Idan
only
will
you knew.
go up to Sten and put his big meaty dwarf hand on his arm and say, "Hey, let's go see what's left of that shipment and get our stuff back. And I see that everything's the way it actually is. I guess I'll just see you tomorrow."
All right. What should we do with this rat here?
That's
Bring it with?
I would leave it with the magic-y person.
That's the only one who knows my stories, right? But all right, I'll go with you.
I'm sure the patron will corroborate your story.
Sten is not so sure that's the case, but
Do you guys want to go with him?
So wait, where are we going?
Back to the bar?
Well, I mean, it seems we. Oh no, that's right. The 5 was gonna go with Eden, right? And we're just gonna take the rat back to the inn.
Oh,
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Are we going to leave the rat here, or are we going to take the rat with us?
That's a good question. What do you want to do?
I would personally like to take the rat. I don't want to let go.
Yeah,
of the rat.
I don't feel comfortable just letting the rat go.
Okay. I look at Sten. I'm like, if you feel comfortable carting this up to the inn, yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable, but I feel more comfortable than just leaving it running around. This squiggly little
Okay.
thing.
Then I guess myself, Eden, and Sten will return to the inn with Uster. We just sort of make sure all the details are worked out. I don't know what's Grey Fox gonna do.
Well, in the back of Gray Fox's mind, he's thinking, you know what, I gotta stick to this mask guy. So he says, you know what, why don't I help you guys out?
That way you can continue to hold on to this nice flute.
Yep.
All right, so you guys start to walk back along, and the constables join you. They grill you pretty much the entire time on the entire sequence of events. If there's anything you leave out or want to add in, feel free to tell me now. But otherwise, you tell them the truth.
I tell him the truth, but I purposely don't mention that she shot lightning that started to set the place on fire, and I just write that off as I didn't see it. I just say that at one point I threw a lantern to kill a swarm of rats, which is actually false. But
Yeah, and
I'm saying it's a swarm of
obviously,
rats.
Eden's not going to mention that either.
Gray Fox will mention that he saw the barkeep throw water onto the fire, which spread out the oil and caused the fire to be bigger.
Both constables nod sagely. That's a real dumb move.
Sten notably hasn't mentioned that he saw rats following him on his way into the inn, and he isn't particularly inclined, given that they don't seem to be particularly generous with him. So that I don't think anyone else is aware of yet.
Gotcha. You guys arrive back at the Skyward Vine. There's a small crowd outside. There's several constables sort of pushing people away. Boosted approaches, he hails them, and they let you through. The barkeeper is several drinks in and is very drunken, retelling that first rats, and then some people just started throwing lightning everywhere, and one man
Oh, who could that have been?
threw a lantern down on the ground, and it was terrible. And now there's blood and fur everywhere. Ugh. And they are making no attempt to console him.
Sten is notably relieved that he wasn't featured in those stories at all.
No, it doesn't seem to be. The owner, when he sees you guys, very blearily looks at you, and he's like, I remember this guy, and he points at Geej.
I just
He looks
wave.
around a little bit more, and this might have been the lightning lady? I shouldn't have been drinking. Ugh.
And I just kind of shrug and give a confused look as if I don't know what he's talking about.
The constables will confer for a little bit on the other side of the room before Ooster returns and says, I guess you guys are free to go. Captain says thank you for handling this. We're not sure what caused it. I hope you'll give us a report on that fife, I guess. And you can expect a finder's fee if it leads to any high-profile arrests or anything.
Finder's fee, you say?
Well, of course. I mean, can't pay you for killing rats, really. That's silly.
Of course,
But,
of course.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
It seems to be that something weird is going on. There's been a lot of grisly murders lately.
Have there? What do you mean?
Animal attacks, mostly.
I'm still holding this crate with the rat in it, right?
Yep.
I'm just gonna look at it. Anytime you want to start talking, you can talk.
Squeak!
Animals as in small animals, as in rats, or are we talking something more grisly?
Nobody's seen it happen, but they would hear dogs yipping or some sort of scratching, but mostly you can tell by the wounds. I wouldn't assume rats, because the bites seem to be bigger.
Okay, I want to speak up and say something about this rat man, but I know that I don't think that anybody's going to believe us.
The two constables who were with you saw it.
Saw the rat man?
Yeah, they saw it. They saw him turn into a rat.
From the man to the rat.
And we saw it too, so...
They appear to not know what that was, and when you told them, me, my magic self, will handle this, don't worry about it, they were like, okay.
They're probably as close as I
Didn't
am
want to
without
get involved.
magic. Were you going to say the thing, or are you just going to bite your tongue for now and see what happens?
I may as well. I'm going to try to explain that I don't really know what's going on, but I just have this really strong feeling that the same creature that caused all the chaos here may have something to do with it. There's something really, really strange and really not normal about this creature.
I know, right? I said it wasn't normal.
I
like
can
how
tell
you
it's
come
not
back to
normal.
it.
It turned into a rat. Are you sure it isn't a wizard that turned himself into a rat?
All I know is
Can you
that
turn into a rat?
me?
The magic? Is that how it works?
No.
Okay.
No. Not exactly. And no, I cannot shapeshift.
You can hear one of
All I
the
know
constables
is
in the
that
back say, I hear those
Look,
druids
I-
can turn into animals.
All I know is that I'm very confident that this creature here was controlling the rats that attacked this inn. And before he turned into this, he was something much more distinctly human.
Well,
rats
if
I
we
was
can get him to
fighting-
confess, we'll definitely have a finder's fee for that.
Just want to chip in. The rats I was fighting did seem to keep switching back and forth between smart rats and just plain old rats. Might be because of that.
I rub my chin for a moment, and then I turn to Uster, and I say, I kind of feel like maybe this is some kind of magic. Like this was a person who got turned into some sort of rat, and they were controlling rats. Did I see if the fife was burning his hands?
I don't recall if you were close enough.
No,
I don't think so.
you saw that.
No, I
Only
think we were
person I saw
running the
that
other way.
was Eden, and she hasn't said anything about that, I don't think.
You mentioned it earlier.
So maybe I don't know. I don't really get magic, but maybe they were cursed. Maybe I don't. Do you have anyone?
Eden,
constabulary
this is
who
something
can...
you can do, actually. You can say, what do I know about rats that turn into people and people that turn into rats? Is that a thing I know about? Roll Arcana and see if that's something that's in your historical knowledge. Because you did go to school for magic.
All right.
You're essentially our authority on magic stuff.
Well, that's not nothing.
Wow.
So-
You know exactly what she rolled a 20.
You get a 20 total, which is good. You're fairly sure you've read books about were creatures, and it is, in fact, a disease that will change humans into animals over a very long time. You can learn to control it, supposedly, but you've never seen one nor heard of any in the area. And usually they're wolves. And you know that the big hint that it wasn't just a creature being polymorphed was the fact that it suffered from silver.
Oh.
Are you gonna explain that to us?
Well, yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
let's teach yourself
very important.
Also, that silver is anathema to it, and the fact that it was holding it despite the undoubtedly excruciating pain it would cause it is unusual.
Is Gray Fox holding the fife right now?
I believe it's
he
Sten.
is.
Oh, the fife?
No, I
Gray
don't have
Fox.
the fife,
Gray
no.
Fox is.
I have the-
Yeah.
Rogue, do you mind if I take a look at that fife real quick?
Yeah. Gray Fox hands over the fife.
Do you want to inspect it, roll it around in your hands, just try to see if there's anything notable on it?
Did she just explain
Yeah.
to us the where thing? just now, or is she keeping that information to
Yeah,
herself?
I was kind of wondering that as well.
No, I was going to do that after I try to see.
Oh,
I was going
okay.
to try to see
Okay.
what the fife is
Gotcha.
made of.
Okay, cool.
Okay, roll a perception check. Actually, no, that was definitely the wrong skill to roll. Roll an investigation check. Ah, even worse.
Ouch.
Ooh, ow!
If I was letting you roll, Geej, you would have broken it.
Oh no, I was going to be tempted to peer over her shoulder and look at it.
You were
Over
looking
the
at this
shoulder.
thing, and it's clearly silver, but besides that, it appears to be scratched and smudged, and nothing appears. Besides, it looks like a quality fife.
All right, so having at the very least noticed that it's silver, I'm going to explain to everyone real quick my knowledge regarding were creatures and how I did notice that the silver fife was burning this creature's hands, and how I don't think that's meaningless.
So you
So
say
this-
that silver would really hurt it.
Yes, it would be excruciating.
So this is a man. Yeah, you guys can't kill this rat, Lester, because you would be, wrongfully executing a man.
You will see a older man push his way past Oster. He looks older, blonde, has a relatively scruffy beard, and has the epaulets of clearly this is the guard captain he was mentioning.
Mhm.
And in a gruffer voice will say, "Seems to me like we have 4 witnesses saying that this man attempted murder and burglary, and I think turning into a rat counts as resisting arrest. I believe we can kill him if we want to."
We don't know if this was something he did of his own choice. It could have been magic.
Sten's
He
He
getting
raised-
raises
have a
a
trial?
bushy eyebrow at you. Do you have any proof of that?
Well, no, but we don't even know what his side of the story is.
Well,
I don't mean
he
to
has
speak
the
about
option to
his
tell
turn.
us, and he leans over and it's on the box a couple times.
If he was touching that flute and that hurts him terribly, he may not be the one in charge here.
Who wants to take lead on this persuasion roll?
I was hoping it wouldn't have to be me, but maybe it'll have to be me.
My persuasion is 2, so I'm gonna let somebody else handle it.
I'll do it.
Wait, actually, I can also help her if her persuasion doesn't go that well, because I have a 3 persuasion.
I have a 5 persuasion. I rolled a 13.
Wow. Okay.
It's successful. Tell me what you say.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what?
It's successful. Tell me what you say.
In persuading him.
Sorry, what are we trying to persuade him?
To not kill this rat for all the supposed crimes it's committed, and
Um,
perhaps cede him to you. I don't know what you're trying to do exactly.
So I can try for persuasion with this argument. Basically, I'd say, well, kind of similar to the fife, this is something that involves magic, and I think we should preserve all the magical elements until we've fully investigated. And I can try to roll.
Let's just say Eden is helping you with this roll, so roll at advantage because she already did a good persuade check of, I guess, looking good behind you.
Give me that. Oh, there
Nodding
you go.
severely.
Okay, so
That magic cred.
you've got that magic cred.
Word.
And the guard captain looks at you all sort of a little incredulously, says, "Very well, I guess we can leave this investigation to you, but understand that if at any point you find new information, you need to report it to us. Is that understood?
You'll be the first to know.
Don't test me, boy.
Understood.
I nod and give him
I
a
like
thumbs up.
him." He will look at all of you in turn and say, "My name's Kite Stedler. I'm the guard captain. If you have any questions, you talk to my boy here." And he slaps Ooster on the shoulder and says, "For now, you're reassigned to these guys. Keep them in line." And he walks out. And Ooster gives Geej a sly thumbs up.
Cool. I give him a thumbs up.
All right, guys. It is late outside.
Wait, and they've
Okay,
still left
fought some
me with
rats.
the rat, right?
You still have a box with the rat.
Excellent.
And this whole situation for Grey Fox got more complicated.
Yep. Welcome to D&D.
Wait, and Ian, my boss, came here with us, right? Was he watching all
Yeah.
this? Okay. Well, I'm going to confer with him a little bit and be like, "See, boss, it wasn't my fault." And try to find what's left of our cheese that we never got paid for.
He actually went over to the cart and has been there the whole time while you've been talking, filing through it. And as you come back there, he holds up a couple with little bite marks that haven't gone all the way through the wax. He says, "Look, we can melt these again. It'll look good as new." He licks his thumb and starts rubbing it really fast.
I'm reminded again of why I stuck with this guy for so many years. Yeah, boss, I figured we could save most of them.
I saw the back room. Looks like he did a number on whatever came for him.
Yeah, it got ugly in here.
Anyway, I spoke to the bartender. Luckily, he was a little too drunk to care whether we were over or under our transportation fee, so I charged him the full amount.
Oh, good. That's a relief. Internally, I am very, very relieved by that.
Will I see you tomorrow at the docks?
Of course. I'll be there.
All
I don't know
right.
what we should do with this. You know where I should keep this rat?
The constables don't want it? Why do you want it?
I don't want it. I just don't think we should set it free somewhere.
I assume you have a reason for not killing it, so take it home? Put it under a heavy box?
Sounds like a plan. A very bad plan, but I'm not going to argue right now.
Make sure to put a hole in it. It'll die.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that.
I had a pet once. Put it in a box. Tried to send it somewhere. Didn't make the trip.
That's sad, but I'm going to let that one go.
He nods very seriously.
All right, I'm going to go rejoin everyone else, see if any new enlightenments have come up.
At that moment, when Sten rejoins us, I am talking to Uster. So, are you and the four of us going to be trying to investigate and solve this case? Do you want us to come back tomorrow when we start to follow up leads? And I look between him and everyone else.
Well, I'm not your handler. I'm just your contact. Still have a job to do.
Oh, okay.
But if you find anything, tell me. So, if we make any good arrests, we can pay you. That's how the system works.
Fair enough.
Sounds good to me.
I
And
glance.
I'm legitimately worried about this. I don't want to be attacked by rats while I sleep, frankly.
Do you guys have like?
You're not the one keeping the rat in his room.
Well, I see Sten say that. I'm like, do you guys think you can keep this in a prison cell and just feed it? I mean, you have
Get out of the cell.
an area for
Yeah,
holding.
we get out of the cell. This thing can fit between the bars.
Well, just keep the crate in there.
I mean, I don't trust the jailers to keep a rat alive.
Okay.
I really feel bad for the people in our prison. So,
Maybe I can get some information out of it. I know you're listening, I say to the rat. Yeah, it's very talkative.
Yeah, the law enforcement system in this universe is very strange.
they have enough normal murders to handle. They can't go around snooping on rat murders.
They're not that qualified with this magic stuff.
Turning a blind eye. Well, I'll be the one to start. You guys have already seen probably as much of my life as anyone knows about. I'm Sten. I'm a dock worker here. You met my boss. This is probably more excitement than my life has seen in years. So I think you know all there is to know about me, at least that I'm willing to share right now.
I introduced myself earlier. I'm Yeesh, and I guess I'm going to be staying in town a little bit, because, well, I mean, now we got to figure out what this rat guy is all about.
Gray Fox chimes in and says, well, there's not much you need to know about me, except that my name is Fox, and if there's something about the city that you want to know, I'm the person to talk to.
How mysterious. Well, my name is Eden, and I live in town, right up the road, really. I'm not important. You don't need to know anything about me.
One of the guardsmen steps up behind you. Lady, would you need an escort home tonight?
Oh, boy. No, thank you for the offer, but I think I'll be fine.
Very good, ma'am.
She can take care of herself from what I've seen, believe it or not. Looks can be deceiving.
Well, I try.
And by the way, I want to thank you all for helping me sort things out. You may not be surprised to know that things don't often go so well between me and law enforcement and making assumptions, so I really appreciate you helping clear my name tonight.
You seem like a nice fellow.
I know how that goes.
I'm glad you think so, man.
So, you all need to go home. Where do you live? Let's start with Gray Fox. Describe your abode.
Gray Fox, he kind of has made a bit of a home on top of some really nice houses. He's kind of camped out, kind of like a hobo.
He's got a above the middle income part of town kind of loft apartment.
Yeah, something like a loft. He likes to look down upon the city, and that gives him a pretty good vantage point as far as stealing from people. So yeah, he likes to stay up there.
And Guige doesn't have a house in the city. Where does Sten live? I'm assuming somewhere in the slums.
Sten lives in the slums, kind of near to the docks, in a place where most of the workers there tend to live. He has his own tiny little apartment. You can call it that. Nothing special, but he gets by there.
He can probably afford a little bit more, but it's hard to find somebody who's willing to rent.
Yeah, exactly. He's comfortable there. He hasn't even really looked outside of living there. It's a comfortable place that he's settled in that isn't actively pushing him out, and that's pretty good for him.
Eden, of course, lives in the Milan estate.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, just a teeny tiny little manor. No big deal.
Only like 25 acres.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Exactly.
All right, speaking of which, looks like Guige doesn't have a place to go tonight, unless he wants to find an inn.
I look between the three of them, and I say, so I guess we're going to act like detectives tomorrow? Kind of what it sounded like. And I look at Sten, and I look at Eden. Are you guys busy tomorrow?
I wouldn't say busy. I don't know if my family's not usually terribly keen on me going out unescorted, but I'm more than used to finding ways to sort of slip out unnoticed.
Well, I have work, but I'm guessing the word of the constable can get me out of it for a day if need be. I can talk to my boss.
Did you want to hold on to this rat some longer to make sure your name's completely clear? Or?
I'd prefer it. I'd kind of like to see this through. And by the way, you're welcome to stay at my place for the night if you need a place to stay.
Oh,
it's
okay, cool.
nothing
Yeah.
special. Hope you're okay with sleeping on kind of a dirty floor, but
Oh, I've slept in trenches. It's fine.
Are
Well
the
then.
two of you
All right
going
then.
to keep track of this rat thing for the entire rest of the night?
I guess.
yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
just
I'm not
double-checking.
letting it
I'm
go.
glad that I'm not the one who's doing it. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I see your point. But yes, we'll keep track of it.
Unless Fox wants to take care of this rat.
Bye. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
We haven't decided where we're gonna meet.
Back here works for me. Work for you guys?
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Gray
fine.
Fox yells from far away. Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Think he'll show up?
Well,
I don't know.
I hope so.
With that, these four unlikely heroes have been tasked by the local guard to investigate a mysterious were-rat attack, but many questions still remain. Is Grey Fox actually a gray mole? Did Eden succeed on her constitution save? Will Sten be able to get tomorrow off? And why is Guige wearing a blindfold? Find out next time on our yet-to-be-named podcast. With that, these four unlikely heroes have been tasked by the local guard to investigate the mysterious were-rat attack, but many questions still remain. Is Grey Fox actually a grey mole that will sell out Guige to the Endicott family? Did Eden succeed on her constitution save? Will Stan be able to get tomorrow off? Why is Guige wearing a blindfold? Find out next time on our yet-to-be-named podcast.